We're now live.
I have so many questions already.
You're not great at illusion, huh?
Now I'm more confused about why there's a goddamn horse.
Don't question my
That's a
costume.
horse. God damn it.
Oh.
Hang on. That didn't work. Did you let me load up Hollywood's character sheet? Because I'm trying to sort this goddamn token out. Used to load now.
Headache upon headache.
What role was it?
Performance.
What was it?
Simple performance. But I just now realized that I had clicked to speak on OBS in my old system settings.
And that's why it wasn't picking up your audio.
Yeah. Oh, nice! You then uttered these words. In the times gallow, in the days of night, when all things go into the sky, the boats then turn into the whale, enter the sky and enter the vale. Where all things are done, enter the sea, where even the skies sing of entropy. Into the forest and into the night, where Evie just popped out of nowhere. Into the forest and into the night, where the city roams day by night. The city of gold, the city of splendor, whereunto where, oh may you wonder. The guy in the back horse of the costume then states, "Alright, hallelujah, that's well enough and all good. Besides that, though, I think our horse performance did outclass you. So, better luck next time, eh?"
If I had the token, I would use her. I was gonna just say that, just on my shoulder and just say, you haven't had a chance to outmatch her performance, though, have you?
Reckon I didn't. But who's to say this day will nay come again? Nay! And they scared off. Kitty! Sorry, got distracted.
Oh, why is it not working? The token editor on the character sheet I was using for it isn't allowing it today, so I don't have a token
I
for
got
her
it.
right now. Yeah, I'm
Try it
pretty
now.
sure you can. Yeah.
That's weird. Okay, there we go. Hello?
Yo.
Yay, there we go.
Okay, I
Is
thought it
that
was just
your
quiet.
familiar?
Lilia.
Cute.
Okay, apparently I can't on the fly adjust hotkeys, so I'm gonna have to keep holding the shift key sometimes. Anyways, the horse pretty much just backsassed you and then rode off awkwardly. At this point in time, however, Rauta and Halu and the rest of the
Halloween
team.
just in
Go ahead.
Halloween Primordial just says amateurs.
Yeah. At this point in time, you both get a call. It's Ramon simply stating, "All right, I need the rest of you back here. Take your time or not, but it doesn't need to be done by today."
What's going on?
I managed to find a research assistant for you all. Well, I wouldn't call him a research assistant, more as someone that can help figure out where to go on that map you made mention a few weeks ago.
Okay, I'm gonna head right over.
All right. Byroth and Caitlin, you are both getting this message as well.
See, I'll head over.
I'll follow Riota.
10-4.
All right. And switch map.
Hold up, I saw that.
It's like, that was in section 9.
I
It's
don't
not
know what
valid
happened.
anymore.
It just hovered and then it switched you guys to that map for some reason. Let's see.
It's a widow kitty again.
Terrible. A pet little kitty.
Widow kitty took the same widow kitty she was before. This one's a boy.
Wait, it's a different little kitty?
It's a different widow kitty.
What happened to the original little kitty?
Mm.
Pooped. What did you do to your cat, Dropkick?
I don't know what you're talking about. You can't prove it in the court of law.
I thought you said it pooped.
And that was the end of it.
Did he kill
This is current widow kitty.
I'm just gonna call it current then.
Is that
Current
just your
kitty.
cat, Dropkick? Is that a panda?
It's just bad too.
Sorry, I'm currently trying to make a token and see if my other account has enough space for it.
All will live in fear of Widow Kitty Makatu,
What was
otherwise
that?
known as. Said everyone will live in fear of Widow Kitty Makatu, otherwise known as Panda.
Panda. Oh. I just got my Jinxie girl now.
Okay. Cross your fingers.
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah, she wasn't supposed to be that big.
I don't think she'd be here.
Why wouldn't she be? She has 2 friends that are here.
I guess she got me there. Your Widow Kitty's bigger than my Widow Kitty.
She has a buck tooth like her mother does.
Okay, as you all make your way back here without too much issue, Byros was in section 9, Caitlin was currently watching over the children. Helibu and Rauta make way as everyone else is currently already here. Mainly because they didn't have enough space to make maps for the rest of you, so that's all that happened.
So Ramon, I understand you have a map specialist, you said?
Yes. Thankfully enough, with the help of his aid, I've been able to acquire enough knowledge into the route system. I can have him here in a relatively easy enough time. Or you guys can head out now and try your luck.
Wait, we came here to meet the specialist that knows about the map.
Well, I don't want to shape your destiny, if you will.
Well, why don't we spend an hour looking at the map and see if we draw same conclusions?
All right then. Oh, by the by, you will, thanks to well, class is starting up again. King, I'm afraid, had to head out back to them.
Academy. Ugh.
Le Academy. No, he didn't say that. Sorry, quickly reading a backstory. Go on.
No, I didn't hear what any Byroth or anything said.
Oh, Byroth is just disdainful of the Academy.
He doesn't trust it.
He's just
How
like,
do you-
ugh, the Academy.
Hallie would raise her eye and just go, raise her eyebrow and just go, oh, I don't see what the problem is with the academy.
It's, in my opinion, very dangerous to be teaching that much magic to that many young humans. And we've seen already it got out of control. They had access to these magical finding books.
I mean, I don't think that's the problem of the academy itself, more so people selling irresponsible material to a public that's probably not ready for it. I mean, where I
but-
come from, magic is everywhere.
Well, where you come from, it might be better regulated. Here, I think that incident is indicative of how poorly managed it is. He just doesn't want humans to learn magic. He's trying to not. He's racist, but he's trying not to look like it.
Yes.
Mission
Just
failed. We'll
seems
get him
like-
next time.
Anyways, this map in Rialto folds the map on the table.
Okay. I'm not wanting to out Byroth as a racist. You pull out the map. Any one of you can go ahead and roll. This is not Pathfinder, so you don't have Dungeoneering.
We're
I guess
killing
investigation.
time until the map specialist gets here, right?
Would it be
Yeah, pretty much.
history?
Normally
Survival.
it's survival if you're trying to navigate.
I
Yeah,
wanna
that's true.
roll that.
I
Go
want
ahead.
to argue navigator's tools.
Alright, so Rialta with a natural 19. Byroth is gonna also go. Oops, I don't know why he has advantage on.
It's the one on the left yours.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
so either way.
Huh. Ralta and Byroth, you guys somehow maybe that's really high. Inspecting the map, you can tell that there are some ways you can go around most of the dangerous areas. There are, however, dangerous areas. If you don't really know the location of where they are or where they're at, it would be difficult. However, you can, from point A to point B, get from here to there based off of how the map works. You just would not have any distinctive, oh, this is a dangerous spot. Oh, this is not a dangerous spot. Expert could help you, but only if you want it. You and Rota Byroth can make your way there and bring the team. You just wouldn't know the information to prepare for it.
I mean, I think we could navigate, but it's always best to learn about where you're going. Maybe it's cold, maybe it's hot, I don't know.
Yeah, and we're just killing time until the specialist gets here.
Mm-hmm. As time progresses, Caitlin, do you want to make a roll? Hallowoo?
Nope, watching the children.
I can make a roll. It's not probably going to be good, but I can make a roll.
Not
I
bad.
thought it was
Wow. I really thought all of you would get below 15. Hallowoo, you can also tell how far this area is. It is not a difficult trail, maybe? As long as you follow the map and don't lose it, you should be fine. But like the rest, you don't really know what's dangerous here, what's dangerous there. Having an expert, or at least their knowledge, could help. But again, that's if you want to bring anyone else into the party.
So how long has it been? We've all examined it. Must be getting close to an hour.
It's been close to an hour.
Also, I wanted to ask, my old village is on the way, right?
Yes.
So I want to point out that and just point on the map where it's at, and I'll say that like that's where I grew up.
Do you want to
This is on the-
return there?
I couldn't hear anything anybody said.
Oh, I said, do you want to return there?
I would if we had time to make a stop at least.
You would probably
Doesn't
have
book
enough time.
I think we have the time. If no one else minds. I don't think it will be a long visit at the village, right?
I look at Caitlin and Hollywood and
Not if you're looking at the map.
Rota, you can tell that she's just staring at 3 children for some reason. You also know that there's now a 3rd child in this dangerous area.
Caitlin, smile.
who are these kids? Or no, I know who 2 of them are, but who's that kid?
Cade can shit over to them from the table. Would that be a sleight of hand or a stealth?
Sleight of hand.
It's my higher one.
Nice. Sorry. Okay. From what you can tell, actually, Hadley, what were you doing exactly?
I was sneaking cake and sweets over to the children without the others noticing.
Oh, yeah. Caitlin, go ahead and roll parental perception with advantage.
Sweet.
Parental perception.
Oh, yeah,
These
that
new eyes ain't.
seems about right.
These new eyes ain't that good.
Hadley, you easily get your familiar to grab some cake and tea, bring it over to the kids, and without knowing anything, Caitlin, you just smile, wave off Relta. Who's that kid? And say nothing, apparently.
Caitlin, can we at least go to my old village on the way to the El Dorado place? I'm shaking Caitlin by her shoulder now.
Caitlin blinks and looks at you. Of course we can go to your old village.
Alright, and who's that kid?
Well, that's Millie and Alice and Penelope.
Do I know who Penelope is?
You've been to her grave.
Yes.
I hope you remember.
Okay. I do, and that's why I asked, because I was like, that was the same name. I talked to Penelope today on the phone, so I was like, wait. Rialto will just calmly sit down in her chair and stare at Penelope and look back at Caitlin, and then
She looks a lot like Caitlin if Caitlin had complexion in her skin, in her hair, in her eyes. Basically, if Caitlin looked more inviting.
Feels
Vital.
bad.
no.
I've been drinking my blood. I'm alive.
But as time goes on, you then finally hear someone talking with someone else. It's hard to read, but the last thing, or the first thing you hear clearly is... Trying to get him off of the GM map.
Dodge.
Yes! And then I was like, whoa! And that's how I met Thursday. Following soon after is a very pleasant looking woman. But she doesn't seem excited to be here, or at least excited to be with this man. The man then comes in, and one of you knows who this is. I don't think you know his name, though.
Caitlin?
No, it's Relta.
Oh,
What?
it's the map guy.
Oh. I was gonna make a joke to you and be like, it can't be me. So anyway, okay, so it's the map guy?
Yes. He comes
I
in
never
and then
did
goes,
it.
yes! Oh, my friend! The nice one that provided me currency. How do you do?
I'm doing well, and how about you?
I've currently acquired myself a bodyguard to aid in my adventure. Points back. This one.
Oh, hello.
Says nothing.
You're intimidating. Why does a map maker need a bodyguard?
Good bodyguard.
Takes the chicken in front of Byroth and goes, yes! Why indeed? Well, cartographer has many skills. One of them is being very fragile. So, as a fellow adventurer, I need someone to help protect this body. Yes, Ramon then states. Anyways, this is the expert I made mention of. He was able to depict and triangulate the area without too much issue, and according to some people, he is a leading expert in map making. Yes, indeed! I am what's known as a cartographer adventurer. Right.
I'm lucky you
Anyways,
had to pause.
Carta Venturer. Yes.
yes, Cardadvant for short. Is it short? Looking towards his bodyguard. Is that short for something?
Right. Well, I never caught your name. What was it?
All right, we never traded names. Nomenclatures, if you will. My name is Gavin.
Hello, Gavin. Have you been to this place on the map?
Which one? I have been to many.
The
Place on this.
Eldorado map that you gave me.
Oh no, that place is new. I have been around it. I have even found the map itself. I can get you there relatively safely, except for the exact place that we're going to. That will be a new adventure for me and you all, I assume.
All right. And so, where did you find that? Gave him my name when he introduced himself. I told him who I was.
Yes, you did, I think.
Okay, cool.
I found it! Actually, rather, I procured it through illegitimate means. Gambling! Yes, I gambled with a man with a strange face. Someone might call it a mask. He said, "Oh, I will play you a card game, and if you win, you will get this map of many treasures." And so I did. I had a pair of threes, he had a pair of twos, he lost. And this is where we are now.
So, you know about as much about this map as we do.
Indeed. Other than some of the locations, I've been to some locations here and there.
All right.
If you need my expertise, I am here. Or you can just rent out my bodyguard. They never actually gave me their name.
I'm sure your expertise will be greatly useful. What kind of climate is this? You said you've been around it? Near it?
Rex, go ahead and roll a percentile dice. With Byral's answer, he simply states, "Indeed, we will go through some mountain passes, go through a mountain itself, enter into a valley of snow and sleet and death, and then go into a forest."
Is forest of death? Or just regular forest?
Perhaps. I have yet to venture too deep into that area.
Interesting.
More or less.
51 on the percentile.
Yeah, 51. Looking at the buttons, you press the number 1982. Out pops a muffin.
Expenses muffins?
Yes.
Damn it.
So we figured out where all the food comes from.
Maybe. Looking towards the rest of you, he goes, "Well, I am here if you need me." Begins to eat off of Byral's plate.
It was kind of funny when I found him. No. Oh my god.
He doesn't look any worse for wear. He's at least been using your money well.
Good. That's good. I'm glad it helped.
Rex, you can eat the muffin if you like, or attempt to eat the muffin if you like, as Caitlin's just staring at this child that appeared out of nowhere.
I stare at the child. Dark Pegasus stares at this new person.
I know I can, but I'm not going to. It's just being left.
Okay. The muffin still remains on the tray then. In the distance, the rest of you see Alice, Millie, and Penelope currently playing with a cat. Alice, let me use one of her new spells. Currently is lifting the cat with no hand of mesmerism, no bolts of projectile energy. Instead, it's a cylindrical disc just floating it up into the air. Floating the rest of the girls up
What's
into
she
there as
doing
well.
again?
The cat, Millie, Penelope, and herself on a disc.
It's two. Oh, well, okay, see. Okay.
Oh, kitty.
Yes.
Haha, Dropkick's cat's getting used. I still get my cat.
I put it over there.
At some point, Rialto would probably go over and say hello to Alice and Millie and hi to Penelope, but nicely.
The other was nicely.
No, she would be like looking at her, like still thinking about you, but like, hi, Penelope, right? Like, because I think you told me her name. But she'd be like a little shy around her.
Oh, you shy around new people, even children.
Yep.
Yes. At any rate, Ramon then states, so, you do have some time to kill. If you want to head out and explore the sites for a while, I have no reason why not. I can send you a retrieval stone. Just, answer it when I call. More or less, I won't need to call while you're out there. But this is something you can do. I don't really have a job for you right now. You guys managed to bring down a huge sting operation in the middle of the night. So, thanks to that, we've gotten some clearance to just do whatever for a while. That being said, I can also assign you some things if you'd like.
I think we'll take a visit to the Golden City with our new friend Gavin. I'll like put my arm around him, you know, like the big guy to a little guy thing.
What is Gavin for clarification? Like, does he just look human or?
It looks dirty.
He looks dirty. He could be elven, he could be, well, half elven, he could be human. He does have some characteristics of another race, but most of them are depicted in human form. You know he's something plus human, but you're not exactly sure what that other something is. He's too dirty to figure out.
I think that's probably
safe
why
from you
Farah
drinking his
likes
blood.
Is the bodyguard female or male?
You can tell they look female.
For now.
You do take.
We'll go over to the bodyguard and ask if she's okay.
Okay. Ralta heads over to the bodyguard, currently staring at a muffin.
She's been quiet like the whole time.
Sorry, what do you ask her?
If she's okay.
She sits on the floor, pulls out a small toolbox, pulls out some very rough paper and a inkwell and quill, and begins writing on it. And then after a few minutes, you would get a very hard to read but elegantly written short reply of very well, thank you.
Okay.
Rauta, you also see that muffin. The bodyguard seems well enough. Can't speak apparently. Maybe can't eat either. Maybe you should offer the muffin or eat the muffin yourself.
Rialta grabs the muffin and tries to offer it. Do you want some of this muffin?
Another piece of paper is pulled out. A few
She
more minutes
hands you back
pass.
the old paper, so you don't have to waste so much paper.
She still uses a new bit of paper. And she simply writes, "What is it?"
It's a muffin. It's delicious. It's very spongy, and when you bite into it, it's a little bit sweet. Unless it's a, what kind of muffin is this? She sniffs it.
You smell blueberries?
It's a blueberry muffin, so if you're allergic to blueberries, I don't think you should eat this. She pauses for her, waits for a response.
She looks completely bewildered.
Okay. Off topic, on topic. I'm just gonna give your character unlimited paper unless you abuse it, Rex.
That's fine.
Because I don't want you spending 10 gold for a stack of paper each time. But yeah, do you eat some of it?
No.
Okay.
She simply shakes her head. And then writes down on another bit of paper, "Thank you," anyway.
Okay. Rialto will put the muffin down, and I'm just gonna go back over there because I think we gotta figure out what we're gonna do next. But if you want to come along with us, you're more than welcome to. And she'll go back to the table with the map and stuff.
You can smell him. He smells stale, which
What did
is
you
still not a
say
great
come
smell.
up?
He smells dusty.
Everyone's cutting out. No, I just want to know what he smells like.
Not great.
Oh god.
Okay, right. I'm
Smells
just
like
gonna
sewage.
I'm gonna put my hand on him and cast this.
Okay. As
I would've
Kitten
touched it.
rounds the corner, Relta speaking with the bodyguard, you look at Gavin, just really smelly, really dirty looking, and cast Prestidigitation. It has no effect. There are two reasons why this would have no effect. One, this is some magical dirtiness, or two, there are some living macroorganisms on him and you can't wipe that away.
Thank fuck I'm wearing gloves. God.
It's got a range of 10 feet. You could have not touched him.
If you have something like
Oh yeah, it does have a range. Fuck it, I'm not touching.
it's fine. But if you have something like view magic, detect magic, identify, you could probably figure it out what it is. But Ramon then states, all right, whenever you're all ready.
To spell it away.
Yeah, you could. Ramon then states, if you're all ready to go, I can supply you with at least 2. You will be out for some time, I assume. At least 2 to 3 uncommon and under items from the repertoire. At least 10 rations for each of you, and an explorer's bag.
Does the explorer's kit have warm clothing for mountains and such?
You can swap out the clothing it has for warm clothing.
Okay. And perhaps some climbing gear? Other than that, we'll be okay.
For that, you'd need an explorer's kit. Which is
I'll go
completely
buy an
different, apparently.
Okay.
That's 50 gold.
50? Jiminy.
If you buy it off, if you buy it from the R&D department, it's just 25. They just keep your
Yeah,
receipt.
I'll get.
The main reason
Buy
people
one
do or
for
don't
all of us.
is because they keep, oh, this person has this thing, this person has this thing, to make sure these items don't disappear and go into the black market.
Okay.
Because that's apparently happened, and you guys stopped it. As Halibut smugly sips again.
Where's the reason they know that, man?
Pardon, what's that?
As
We're the
you,
reason they know that.
as you smugly sip, because you guys stopped the whole Well, not all of it, but a good extent of the black market dealings in the city.
Hmm, hmm.
I was just about to say, Hollywood would pick up her cat and walk over to Bodyguard and ask what her name is.
Damn it. Yeah, I forgot something.
Should be over at the table because I think Riel said that she went back to the table, so
Oh yeah, that's true.
I followed.
Okay.
Take my chair.
She would pull out her supplies, and after a few moments, you would get, without her writing anything, very confused, and then just a single question mark.
What do you call yourself?
Was
Well,
Riel
what
to
do-
see this?
I mean, she's
Probably.
doing it on the table in front of everyone, so probably a moment of realization on her face, and then again, after a few more moments in hard to read cursive, you would get a very long name, which
Oh, a
I
very
will simply
long name.
type.
Okay. Because I was about to be like, oh my god, does she not remember who she is?
And I'll paste that in for you, Rialto.
I can kind of see it on this screen, but it's really small and I need glasses. Shit.
Cerberus to the Sanctorium of Io. Yeah?
I'm assuming yes.
She would ask if you go by Cerberus for sure if you usually use the full name.
Okay, hello.
Can you?
Yeah, now I can. My thing was being weird.
More confused looks, followed by that is the full name and the question mark.
Is
Mm,
there a shorter version, perhaps for combat use?
I'll just ask, do you mind us calling you Cerberus instead?
You get Byrov gets a confused look, and she writes down an OK for Hollywood,
Okay, Cerberus.
followed by
it
another
is.
question mark. But
Well, I'm Halliwoo. She's starting to point at people. That's Barov, that's Caitlin, that's Rialta. This is Ramon, our boss. And that's Civ over there. I'm pretty sure you know who Gavin is.
I hope you know who Gavin is. That's why I was
she looks
concerned.
really, really confused,
Oh, jeez.
and then shakes her head, puts her hands together, and bows in front of you all.
Halliwoo returns the gesture.
Yeah. Table
Receives
bow
a
from
warm
Lyra.
smile.
What kind of bow is it?
I'm really distracted because I look at the screen, I see something fly around, and I think something's in my screen.
The butterfly, right?
I'm like, wait, there's an ant in there, hang on.
Just a simple hands together, and then leaning forwards, dropkick.
I'll curtsy then.
the way you said it, I thought you were leaning forwards and drop kicking Hallowoo.
So this bodyguard's name is Cerberus?
Cerberus.
Cerberus.
Cerberus to,
For short.
to the Sanctorum of Io.
Okay, how do you... Cerberus?
Watch fucking Caitlin be fucking alpha over all of us and keep referring to her for her
I
full
will
name for
The
the
entire name.
Cerberus.
It's like a pimp named Slickback. You said the whole thing, not part. including in comics. It's gonna be my whole
Yes.
fucking turn saying the name.
Probably can't even
Servants.
remember what Halliway's full name is.
All of the Lemurs. You know.
Not even.
Rialta's
She's got like
Rialta,
4.
Doja. I wrote this all down. I'm just trying to be able to pronounce it though. Cerberus.
Yes, like the Greek
Oh, I need to
myth.
talk to Penelope.
I was gonna say, it's really
Huh?
burying the lead on this one. Go talk to your daughter.
Currently, you
Penelope.
see them manifesting an actual living butterfly out of illusion magic.
I'm gonna try to like pick her down from the tensor's floating disc.
She's like 10 feet above you.
Yup.
Okay. Go ahead and roll acrobatics.
I'm fantastic at those.
Okay. Okay, to
So
both.
proven
As you jump straight onto the disc, you almost lean it over and tip it over. This was designed for 3 children and a cat, not a full-grown adult. Luckily enough, it's magic, so it doesn't actually tip over. You just see Alice wavering on her side just to mess with you. Luckily enough, you rolled a 20, so you just don't accidentally fall. But you climb up, grab your kid, and swing back down. And because the fun's over, Alice and Millie just hover the rest of them down. You have your kid in hand.
I'm gonna pick Penelope up.
You already had her in
Nice.
hand.
I'm gonna top off the disc then.
Okay.
And I'm gonna kneel to the ground, holding her like a baby. Penelope, I'll be going off on our journey. Will you be okay at school?
Yes, I think so.
I regret the lisp. Okay. Remember, you can talk to me anytime you need to.
It's okay.
Remember, I gave her the sending stones.
Yes, I know. But it's not like she really. It's not like she's really thinking you're leaving. I mean, you have a job. She knows that you have a job. It's been 2 months. She knows you go away sometimes, go out with this female. You also change clothes, the way you look. She thinks you're going through a phase, so as long as she has a connection to you, she's fine.
I put her down on the ground.
You put her down on the ground. Immediately, you see her and Millie shift. And the cat. And not depicted, apparently.
I'm getting a cat back for this journey.
Now, currently, it's in Alice's hands. If you had to guess, they had a secondary line feature in Tensor's disc, where if you get placed upon the disc, if you've already been on it, immediately you shift with the person next to you. They've been reworking spells, apparently.
I think Barat that whole time would be like reacting if someone was making out beside him. He's like, "This is weird, right? Like, I can't. That's your dead kid, right? What's going on? What's happening right now?"
I thought you were a
Oh.
cleric. You should know that revival's a thing.
Yeah, I'm not that level of cleric.
Still cleric?
I mean, I know what happened, Ramon states, but it's up to Kaelin to really give you the information.
Yeah, did Caitlin tell us about it at all?
No,
She just
not
randomly
yet.
appeared at the house one day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, every time Rialto looks at her, she'll look at Caitlin and look back at her and look at Caitlin.
You do though. You do so, and Caitlin would probably look really great with a tan.
Maybe some hair dye.
I don't know about that. The white hair really suits you. But besides that, Gavin then states, "So then, when are we off? We've been here for about 2 hours now."
If we have cold weather gear in the adventurer's kit and no one else wants climbing gear, I think we can set off any time.
Farah, you can always carry me.
Who needs flying gear when you can fly?
You can fly too
Monstrous.
and carry at least, I forget how many people. Yeah. Oh, and then we got that Pegasus thing.
Okay, fine. But never hurts to be prepared.
Not at all. You're totally right. And we should probably head out soon. So Cerberus is a bodyguard. Would she want to even come? Is Gavin coming with us?
Yeah, we're taking
Yeah.
Gavin.
I think so.
Okay. Okay.
Ramon then states, "Well, in order to make sure I have a connection with the two of you, here." He throws Gavin, I wouldn't call it a deputy's badge, but it's not similar to your badges. It's similar shape and model, but it doesn't have the insignia on it, signifying Section 9. It's pretty much all that isn't there. And then he just throws one at Cerberus, to the Sanctorum of Io. Well, in front of you, at least. He doesn't actually throw it at your face. Use these
What is it?
to communicate or to connect with each other if need be. Then he signs a few things to you, Cerberus, to the Sanctorum of Io. But I don't know if your character knows that language.
Looks confused at what he's doing. Looks confused at the badge.
He's throwing up them gang signs.
Can we like mime putting it on like us, and then does like the brain function work? Does stealth mode work?
Yes.
Put him.
That would
Pretty much
probably throw Cerberus to the Sanctorum of Io off, though.
Oh, can mine have always been in stealth mode?
No. A few of you try to do the stealth thing, try to mime. You're probably
One less
more
person
confused.
at a time.
Oh, sorry, I meant stealth message, not go invisible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And Ramon then just simply states, badge, connect to each other, don't have to. Just hold on to it.
It's just a way we can communicate with one another.
Picks it up and puts it in her pocket.
Alright.
Ramon.
Gavin then brings out a gold chain and wraps it around the badge and then places it upon his neck underneath his shirt. Those of you that are familiar with metal or familiar with religion can go ahead and roll religion and or arcana.
I am apparently proficient in religion.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and thanks
What
to the
do we need to
badge's
be
feature,
proficient with?
each of you now have proficiency in stealth.
What do we have to be proficient with to roll it?
Religion or arcana. Or if your backstory has something to do with metal.
Haha, Arcana, you said. Haha!
Natural 20.
Barrel's impressed with the metal. Kaylin, you can tell that there's some symbolage on the metal itself pertaining to some story of the past, some history of gods. Natural 20. You can see that there's some strange symbolism on the features, on the very chains themselves, other than metal that's been worked connecting, binding with one another. You see as if they're clasped hands of gods, attributed and connecting with one another. Attributed. Uh, adjacent to one another and connecting with one another as if they're holding hands, binding with one another in a semblance of hope and prosperity. However, the last chain that connects with each other is one that is broken, as if something in the past, something in their history, had caused them to waver away. Maybe it's some semblance that might happen or mean something in the future. Or maybe this is a really expensive artifact that he has discovered in his travels. Maybe it's both.
I would ask him about it out of curiosity. Just ask where he got it from.
Ah, yes! This was. Looks through his notes, his actual notes. Let's see here. Nope, not the scar. Not the mountain range. Oh, yes, right here. He then flips it over and goes, "This was discovered in the ancient towers." Let's see, I believe the Tower of the Joker.
Interesting.
If you'd
We
like,
have been to the dungeon of the Jester.
he then quickly edits his notes. Just, got it. I wound up there, went to the right, found a strange room with gold, silver, and platinum. He said, "Pick a cup, any cup, so long as you can drink from." And then I said, "Yeah, okay." And then I picked a wooden cup. And then he said, "Congratulations, you did it. You chose the right one." And then I said, "Yeah, okay, can I take this chain?" "Yeah, sure, why not?" And so I took it and then left the dungeon right after.
Interesting. Would you perhaps mind if I identified it with magic?
I never thought of that. Do you do it?
Yeah, it takes a minute to cast. So.
This has 5 blessings of God intertwined within the chains themselves. It has 5 mantle-like features to them. The mantle of the brave, the mantle of the wise, the mantle of the dexterous, basically all the stats.
Oh, this is a powerful. I tell him what it is.
Except for charisma. He doesn't have charisma.
That's the best. This could grant you various boons, make you better at doing almost anything, except for making people like you.
Okay! I feel a little attacked there, but that's fair.
No, I mean that's literally the one thing. It's like anyway.
At any rate, if you're all ready to go, I can head out today. If not, I will see you tomorrow.
I'm ready.
Ramon,
Yes.
does my rations have what I need?
They do. He gets close. You're talking about blood, right? Because it does have it.
Okay. That's all I needed to know.
He goes back. Claire then looks at the rest of you. If you're all ready to go, you can make way. Again, we don't have a assigned job for you today or in the upcoming day, so a little levity of exploring out there might do you some good.
I'll be headed out soon.
That being said, looking back at Caitlin, we will be taking care of things here. Caitlin, you assume, as in taking care of your daughter, as well as anything else that might happen. So, do you guys head out today, tomorrow, next week?
I'm ready to go today, but I have one thing to ask Halliwell the Glamorous.
Yes.
Halliwell the Glamorous, what is with your cat?
Ooh, a
adorable.
full title. That's new.
See, doesn't Cerberus have a fox? Did I see that as well?
A floating celestial fox as well as a bird.
Mm.
One
Not
at a
depicted.
time.
As soon
Be
as I get
depicted,
space,
Billy.
I will get you those tokens.
Rialto wants to.
Oh, I can sort them
ask-
out. I just didn't want to
Okay, that's fair.
fill up the map, really. Because
I
they're both riding on her, so.
yeah, I get it.
Like, really quick, Rialto wants to ask the service. She wants to ask her if she is able to talk or if she just chooses not to talk. Like, quietly so nobody else can hear it.
You get a warm smile, and after a few moments on the paper, you get a I choose it.
Rialto will. I don't know if you handed her that paper, but she'll like put it away so nobody else can see it. Because she doesn't know if you don't want anybody to know that or not.
She's not being secretive about anything, if
Okay.
that's what you're asking. She's writing on the table.
Right, so she's being like totally open about it, like, okay.
In the meantime, Halloween and Caitlin are conversing, and Caitlin flips her off for no reason. Not really. But
Dropkick
Halloween,
it
what do you
again,
say?
Nico.
I'm like trying to read this little tiny text, like, what happened while I was.
Caitlin just wanted
Okay.
to know what's with your cat, as in
I
why.
am pasting it all in RP chat for you.
No, I'm trying to read it because he's streaming it. I can see what's going on now. But it's so tiny, so I'm like, I can't switch back and forth though, because it lags a lot if I do.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Question that was asked was, "What is your cat?" or something.
What's with your cat?
New familiar. I managed to finally do it. Her name is Cosmo, and she just holds her up.
Like a gesture for me to hold her?
I did not hear that.
Are you
Wants to hold
gesturing for me to
Cosmo.
hold the cat?
She's just holding her up as like a ta-da sort of motion.
So yes, you want me to pick up the cat? I pick up the cat.
Okay. You pick up nothing. It feels like nothing. An endless void, a vacuum, an endless expanse of nothingness, where you, the sun, the sky, the stars meet into an effervescent flow of a horizon, where you turn into the eyes and there is simply a star. No matter as far as you reach, there is nothing. And then you hear purring.
That's oddly macabre.
She matches how Harry feels on the inside.
I don't know. I was just trying to describe a cosmos. If that's not how your cat feels, Halloween is just a fluffy existence of magic that's adorable and warm, that can totally work too.
I haven't really thought about it. She probably just would feel like a normal cat.
Yeah, okay. And instead of all that, it's just a warm, huggable, fluffy, although strange-looking cat.
It's the
With a top hat.
fluffiest, warmest cat you've ever touched in your life.
It seems wildly impractical to have it look like this, doesn't it?
Other than the looks, the strange thing about it is that it wears clothing and doesn't bat it off of itself.
I trained it well. If you just said that it's impractical, Hallie was just gonna look at you with a blank stare and then look back at her clothes. And then look back up at you.
You have a wizard's hat, a wizard's cloak. This cat has a hat. It is colorful.
meantime, you're also just playing with the cat on her face.
Widow Kitty.
Why?
Mark
What is
II.
it? It's not even real Willow Kitty. What is it?
It's Penta.
Okay.
Widow Kitty Mark II.
Just climbs on top of your head.
Playing with your cat.
Yeah. So is everyone ready to go? If not, we can totally still continue this. It's fine.
Did you already introduce us to everyone, Hollywood the Glamorous?
I'm pretty sure I did.
I think so.
Okay.
I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to go.
Hi ho, Sir Maximilian. Nay, I
Gosh.
say. Nay.
Oh man, I kind of want to make a
And
joke with
now
your
time to look at-
Pegasus, but you weren't there for that first cutscene, so fine. It wouldn't make sense. Don't worry about it. You climb on your Pegasus. No,
Worrying about it.
ready. Gavin looks towards his bodyguard. Yes, well then, you're the payment for the expedition then. Hands you what appears to be a strange contraption-like book. It's odd, it's weird, it's fermented?
Looks it confused.
You are the one that wanted to be paid by books, right?
Looks very confused. And then shrugs. Hands him back the book.
Oh no, that was Mark. Mark was a great guy. Let's see. Are you the one that wanted 200 gold per day?
Still very confused. Shrugs.
I can get this. An ancient wizard's sword?
The lag killed you when you said that.
Ah, man. An ancient wizard's sword.
Yeah, wizard's something, but
Sword. Oh, this is strange traveling music. He asked if you were the one that wanted a wizard's sword.
Looks confused and nods.
Alright, here you go. He hands you a strange archaic like sword with strange carvings in and around it. It's made out of near pure crystal, and it is humming in your hand. It is a +2 weapon with the attributes known as Fairy Fire, Mage Hand, Sprite's Blight, which is just another form of Magic Missile, and Fate's Felt Hand, which is just a karate chop from, what's it called? Oh, I left the description blank. It's that one giant hand, Big B's hand, that does 4d8
big things.
psychic damage. Slashing damage, actually. It's also a finesse-based weapon. If he had to give it its stats, the wizard didn't think about that, but it is a rapier.
Okay.
Okay. You all head off into
And
the
we
forest
travel.
section first. Entering into the system, you do see that it's more or less fine. Civ looks at the rest of you. So, does anyone know where exactly we're going?
We're going to travel first to Rialta's village. It is this way on the map, because from my background I have the Wanderer thing, which allows me to excellently recall maps.
Gavin currently has the map in hand and goes, "Excellent! We will first pass through this forest range. Is everyone ready to attack?"
What is in the range that we're attacking now?
Well, only if you disturb the three now. Gravesite up ahead of us. There is a skeleton that reforms into its former self, and then attacks if you ever try to cause too much disturbance in the area. But as long as we don't touch it, we should
Okay.
be fine.
We should be fine.
Okay.
Let's go.
Shit, quick breakdown.
It doesn't show on map. Oh wait, now it does. The Civ and Gavin are now moving.
Did we not bring along a Rialta token?
What?
Just drop one down.
Yeah,
Why
I'll
you
just
leave
drop
me
one.
behind?
I got it, I'll just drop one.
Sorry, I stepped away for a second and back though.
That's fine. That's weird. I copied and pasted all of you.
What do
You
you
left
mean?
me behind on purpose.
You also left Widow Kitty behind.
Or
too.
for a purpose.
Arguably
but
has
you're-
importance.
Okay.
There, get your Widow Kitty back. Oh, one thing I did want to do before we left the place of Dogma was I wanted to use Divine Sense.
On?
It's just in the room.
What exactly does it do?
Divine Sense lets me ascertain like certain creature types.
Celestial, Fey, that sort of thing.
Not fair.
Not Fey,
Celestial,
Fiend.
Fiend,
Sorry.
I'm trying to figure out what they made their familiars.
Oh, okay. You can't tell what Hallowoo's is exactly. The best guess you can make is Celestial.
Wouldn't I figure it out then?
No, it's not exactly Celestial.
Mine wouldn't come up with anything, by the way.
Then I'll assume that they're fake.
Maybe. Similar to how her familiar doesn't pick up exactly. Rex is even goes further north from that.
I assume that Cerberus is
You can assume whatever you want.
from her understanding of how Find Familiar is.
Yeah, more or less. As you pass the gravesite, Gavin does point to it. Now remember, don't step, tread, or do anything that would upset the gravesite.
This almost seems like something that you would have to go out of your way to do.
Yes, and people often do it, which is why I'm warning you.
I'm not
That's
one
what-
to
I
disturb a
was like, what did
gravesite.
I miss while I was gone, Booth? So there's gravesite we cannot disturb. Okay.
Or at
That's
least
easy enough.
shouldn't.
Let's make sure we go around it. Everybody's in agreement on that, right?
Not even in the way.
Like, you have to get out of your way to do it. Gavin then states, yes, often would-be adventurers would go out of their way to dig it up, acquire the stuff that was buried with them. Really have to get out of your way there.
Right. Well,
What kind
we'll
of
just
stuff?
stick to the path, and I'm sure we'll be all right.
No, it depends on the grave, as he continues to move forwards.
That is probably a bad idea, right?
Terrible idea. Let's just keep going.
Caitlin, the other things you sensed in the area, you're not sure who exactly, but you did sense celestial heritage, undead, and fiend.
I mean,
Wait,
I
wonder
can.
who the undead is.
I can guess.
A secondary undead signature in the room.
Area.
Okay.
Hiding somewhere.
I will find you.
It's in the grave.
A daughter hiding in the grave.
If you guys don't do anything, you should be fine. So if you just pass it, it's not an issue. If you guys want to inspect it without actually touching it, you can also do so.
Mm-mm.
We
Some
read
people
what the
put us-
gravestones say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll do that at least.
the first one reads, Martha, beloved mother, helping hand. The next one reads, Timothy, child's blessing within this land. The last one reads, oh man, I need to change his name. I've used Mark like 3 times. Matthew.
It's this
Common
world's
name.
John. It's very
Insidious fire, helping man, which is weird.
Yeah, those are 2 odd statements to have back to back. I wonder which one is the undead that could fuck people up. Okay, let's leave the fire alone. Insidious fire. Although we could probably take him.
Let's just going this way. Okay.
Yeah, you're just passing unless you actually do something to it.
Can I fly on my broom?
Yes, easily.
Hell yeah.
Oh, by the way,
for
dog.
Cerberus a ride. Unless anyone else wants to ride on it.
Those are not the 2 much grabs.
No, are we trying to go quick though? Because we
She's
have.
moving at the same pace, it's just a case of she doesn't really want to walk.
What do you think? What do you think I'm riding on Maximilian? It
Who
seems like
else
it
is
seems like a
walking?
far walk. You,
It is.
Byra, you, Byra, Civ, Gavin, and maybe Little Kitty, Cosmo. Little Cosmo.
Oh, Cosmo's on my head. He doesn't count.
No, Little Kitty's on your head. Cosmo's doing
Yeah,
some
little-
other thing.
God dang it. Too many familiars. No, Little Kitty's on my head, and Cosmos is with Hollywood, right?
Yeah, Little Kitty doesn't even want to walk.
How many
And-
people can I carry if I turn into a giant eagle?
One very scared cat.
I'll give your cat back to you before I turn into it. Like if we're trying to speed up the trip, I mean.
I mean, you'd have to carry like Byra, Civ, and Gavin. I don't know if Cerberus.
the heavy
would
boy.
get on the-
And Byroth is just as happy walking.
Fine.
And
You can
who
always get
knows
a-
who actually
you can always
wants
get
to
a
even
Maximilian.
touch Gavin?
I can tell you Maximilian doesn't.
Rialta doesn't care if Gavin's dirty.
Spoken like a true mudcaster.
I have gloves for a reason.
I mean druid.
So no one's fucking with the insidious flame.
Too obvious.
I assume.
I'm not, unless like no. And if I see anybody going over to it, I want to kind of tug them open.
Caitlyn goes at it with a shovel. No, like,
Like, we're on a thing right now. We can come back to that at a later time. You get your ass over here right now.
Byroth has a jug of infinite water now.
The flame.
I'm
No,
joking.
no,
This
no,
we're
no,
not
no,
doing
no.
You come now to a crevasse.
You come
How high are you
now
flying?
to
How
a
low?
mountain range where you just simply follow the path. Yes, here! If you do something stupid around the edge, throw something in, accidentally fall yourselves, will be attacked by Driders as it heads into the Underdark.
Ooh, neat. Takes a picture with Tab like a Taurus.
All you see is an
Although
endless
I
shadow.
may say we should probably be kind of quiet now and discreet.
What? No, I'm just kidding.
God damn it. You used to be blind, now you're just loud.
Any difficult terrain checks or anything?
Not yet. At least not where you currently are.
Okay, don't fall into the depthless cavern.
Maximilian flies. It's 5 feet.
God, everyone can fly with me.
I
I
can
mean-
carry you, but I can't carry you, Civ, and
Maximilian can fit one more person, but I don't want to.
Civ simply states, "That's fine, dear. I can walk." At this point, Rauta and Byroth, go ahead and make survival rolls.
Alright, if it's gonna get that difficult, Byroth is gonna cast Freedom of Movement on himself to negate any difficult terrain.
Then you're fine.
then I'll just turn into a giant thingy mabob and fly away.
You turn to
What level spell is that?
Ugh, you know what? I don't want to use a spell. I'll just roll survival. Roll me.
It's not a spell for you to turn into an eagle.
It's
Oh yeah,
like-
you can just be a regular
I can
eagle.
only do it, but I can only do it like how many times?
Two
No,
times
it's
for short
fine.
rest.
It's a couple of days journey, so you can do it if you want.
Yeah,
Unless
maybe-
someone screws up here, you should be fine.
Oh
yeah,
no,
I'm
little
gonna be
pig.
lazy. Just gonna fly over this shit and offer a ride if anybody wants one.
Mm-hmm. As you turn back, you notice a tall, attractive female elf with blonde hair, and some blonder highlights.
Well, that's just strange.
The
Right,
cat
he's
didn't change,
down
so
for
people
you.
could tell it's you. But no one else. But no one else can.
So I know it's Caitlin.
No, you know it's
What's
Hallowoo.
going on? Oh,
Because Hallowoo's cat didn't change, you know the blonde, beautiful elf is Hallowoo.
oh, okay.
Okay. You turn into a bird, Caitlin can fly. Cerberus, are you flying with Hallowoo?
She's walking.
Okay. Eventually you will need to make a survival check, though. So go ahead and roll one. Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Fine.
None of you pass without an issue. Unfortunately, you make it across. No one throws a rock accidentally. No one makes their horse, I don't know, poop over it. So they get mad. You just go without an issue.
Do you really want me to disturb this place to talk about?
Not as a player, but as a GM, maybe.
Sucks.
You're the one who let us all fly.
He's like baiting us every corner we turn.
It makes me feel sort of bad. Like a dog was like, "Ah, you guys don't do it wrong."
I know, I kind of just want to, like, this time, just be like, oh, let's see what it is.
Like, oh no, I've knocked down a mountain.
Oh,
Let's
that's
go back and do it.
nah, you're good. Something's gonna happen in this map, but apparently the tokens disappeared.
Run while he's trying to fiddle with it.
Run back to the mountain monster. Or the fire one.
Give me a second. I need to find the tokens that disappeared for some reason.
No problem. And don't worry about the flying thing, I just teased. How did I do?
You can always sit on maximum if you really want to fire off.
I grabbed you with my giant claws tonight because I would love to do.
You'd love to grab fire off.
Like,
Kidding.
just like a little baby, like, this is humiliating, but convenient.
Are you no longer a giant bird?
I am a giant bird. I can carry at least 2 people, I think. I'm a giant fucking majestic eagle, okay?
I don't know how long you decided to stay in that form.
And I'm a pink eagle because my hair is like a pinkish purplish color. So yeah,
How long are you gonna stay in that form?
as long as it's necessary, as long as we're traveling. Why not? Like I can fly. It's cool.
Well, because in like 10 seconds we're probably going to get into a fight and we'll need spells.
It's been a day since the last map.
Right on.
Okay, I think I found them. I just need to edit something.
No. All right, it's time to use my powers of diplomacy. All right, where's my bat?
Is that what you called the bat this time?
It was Zone of Truth there, and now it's called diplomacy. I think I deleted the bat game. I'm putting it back. I like my bat. It's a good bat.
We're just
There are
going to get
many
you
like
like
it, but this one's mine.
You know what? Now because of that Commodore document, it's a longbow.
You know there are actual guns in this world, right?
I'm not proficient.
I can teach you. Just kidding.
You can learn it from video games.
I hand you my video games.
Caitlin seems like one of those like adults that has a bunch of games on her phone but never actually plays them.
You play the first part and then
She plays Candy Crush.
oh jeez.
Lots of Candy Crush.
A lot of my coworkers play games that are similar to that, and they.
I don't know why my
really
mom
enjoy
plays
them.
Candy Crush. She's put so much money into it.
I know, and they do. My one coworker legitimately said she was like, every payday I spend $40 on this game, and I'm like, what?
That's
Why?
gross.
And
Yeah.
that right there is concerning.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. They got her.
That
And
one
it
and
wasn't-
that one.
It wasn't Candy Crush. It was like that restaurant one where they like open their own.
Oh,
restaurant.
Diner's Dash.
Yes, that one.
Glorious.
That's her game. That's the one that she spends a shit ton of money on every paycheck.
That's
Oh, fuck yeah,
so
dragon.
gross. Anyways, as you round the corner and heading north, as that is where your next destination is, which is Rauta's village, you've been traveling for about a week now. As you round this map's epicenter, you then see a man rushing straight towards you. Not on purpose, he's just running away from some large, giant, flying red thing in the sky.
I assume that's a dragon.
You assume that's a dragon.
Cool. How high is it?
We're all still up in the air.
Some of
I'm
you,
only 5 feet.
it is currently 500 feet in the air. So you have time. The man rushes out and goes, Alright, quick thing. You all should run. Maybe not north.
I look at the dragon, I look at him, and I toss him a support cat.
Grabs the cat. Grabs the cat. Yes, thanks.
Pet it. You're not you in your panic.
Pets it. Okay. A few things. Minute of fire. No, it can breathe fire. It has scales as strong as that one. Points to Byroth. If you can do ice or water type of damage, very good. Might be able to assist you. I don't know. I was trying to coerce it to burn down an already buried village. It didn't take. And now it wants to attack me. The village up north, La Chagrin, I don't know. I wanted to see what was underneath the snow. It didn't like me coercing it there and began to attack. Been running for 3 days. Whew.
What possessed you to? Okay, no, I don't. You know this was stupid. You can't hide? Does it smell you or something?
It has something known as tremor sense, so if I try to move, it can find me even in the sky for some reason. I think it also has some strange eyes that can pierce through the veils of, I don't know, some type of true sight.
Interesting.
How much time do we have until this dragon thing gets to us?
You see that it's now 100 feet away. About 10 seconds.
Right.
Okay.
I think we should lead it to the old village.
It
I mean,
already went there.
I like Hollywood's plan.
I ran
Or
from it 3 days ago from that area.
Okay, let's do Hollywood's plan. I can't. Sorry, it's so tiny. It's so cute.
Polymorph.
60 feet away from it.
Try it.
But in meantime, you keep running
That's
because
so
it's
close,
chasing
though.
you.
The only one to be able to see this is Halawu. Halawu, looking at Cerberus casting this. Oh wait, you're 60 feet from it. Never mind. Halawu's cat, 60 feet from this. She just looks at Cerberus, looking at the giant bird, looking at her bird, confused. Sorry, I just wanted to point that out. Polymorph. What can I save? Will save? Wisdom?
wisdom.
Was the wisdom saving throw? That's not good.
In the meantime, Halawu, you see a giant breathing fire dragon aiming straight for you. It roars with a terrible sound going, "Roar!" and then completely turns into a rabbit and falls into your hands.
Yay! We all
I'm
took
just
claps
holding this rabbit like
enthusiastically.
I'm holding this rabbit like I don't know what to do. Back towards the
Can I try
party.
to talk to it?
You can try, if you can speak with animals,
Yes.
then you can.
Would you like to ritual cast it or cast it like a spell slot?
Spell slot.
You easily cast it. It changes for I think 10 minutes or how long? Oh, an hour. So you got time.
Alright, so this is a dragon, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I love dragons.
It's a
Girls
scaly
is just
doggo.
pouring all of her thoughts into this thing right now. She's just so. Yes, You're what? Wait, why were you chasing that person?
No one else can hear this, so the rest of you just hear. However, Halabu, in your hands, you see it struggling, and Rauta, you hear, "Foolish humans! You really think I, Scarlet,
Wait 1 second there, little bunny dragon. Most of us aren't even human.
Oh. Okay. You all look human to me.
I look at Rosa like she's broke. We need to fix her somehow.
Okay.
Right. And even still, that didn't even start to answer my question. Why were you chasing that person?
He tried to coerce me into burning a village that's already been buried in the dirt and sand. He doesn't know what snow is, you assume.
So why do you know what happened to that village?
I know not and care not. All I could see is that
You
there
just
was
already knew it was burnt down?
it was buried in sand, you assume, snow. And all I could see underneath this pile of rubbish was strange creatures burrowing in the dirt, moving around.
Strange creatures?
Yes. And rather not being into the element that hurts me the most, I decided to chase this man into the desert zones. You assume this area because it's wilted and dying.
Okay, that makes sense. And you don't know what those creatures were at all?
I care not for things so littler than me. Littler than me. You see as a 1 foot rabbit is in Halabu's hand.
Uh-huh. Sure, sure. Alright, Rialto will look up and be like, so you guys, this thing was chasing him and got mad because you chased him away from, or you tried to lead him into a village that was already burned. But wait, why were you even chasing him to begin with? Just because you just wanted to burn him up?
Indeed, he led me to the ice and snow, where I could be hurt the most. That in itself brought about my anger.
How long does he get to stay for a rabbit for?
An hour.
Like an hour. As long as none of you hit me.
Alright. Does anybody have any questions for him? Because I could ask and try to relay them as best as possible.
What?
Yeah,
Does
everyone else just
anyone
hears
ask-
squeak, 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 squeak.
Yeah. So does anybody else want to ask him anything? Because I can relay whatever you want to tell him.
Is he gonna kill us if I unpolymorph him?
I don't recommend unpolymorphing him just yet because I don't know his intentions. He was chasing the guy just because he wanted to burn him up. So I think it's... I love dragons, but I think this one might not be the best dragon.
I could tame it.
I think we should attempt that at some point in time. But do you guys have any other questions for him?
Can we
Uh,
ask him
I-
not to kill us?
It's unlikely. Dragons are mean. Hey, tired guy, I have a question for you.
Yes.
When you lured this dragon away from wherever it was, did it have perhaps a hoard of gold
Maybe.
that is totally undefended right now?
Probably yes.
Just kind of look at the bunny dragon, like, totally undefended. Maybe you mentioned that bunnies can understand me, so there you go.
They can understand Barath, but he can't hear what they say back, so Barath can talk to the bunny too.
Totally undefended dragon horde,
So as
Maybe
Byron
you want to
states
be getting
this,
back to that.
Rauta, you hear, "My money! Release me now and I'll only kill one if not three of you."
Whoa, little bunny. if you want to be released at all, you gotta promise not to kill any of us. I really admire animals, and I've befriended dragons before, but you gotta make sure you're not gonna kill anybody here.
Pretty sure thing to do is just let him be bunny and we all run away.
Do not require a sacrifice of monetary value or art worthy of my praise.
Hmm.
Yeah, pretty much. Dropkick. And just without the carrot.
I want to drop kick to wrap it right now. It has 1 hit point. We get dragon scales.
Methinks I
No,
want
because
those dragon
it
scales.
doesn't
It'll
have
turn
1 hit point. The
back
rabbit
into-
has 1 hit point.
Yeah,
But
it's
if
something else.
Dropkick were to enthrall it, it has like a fucking -4 to its saving throw.
I could do that. That's why I said, do you want me to tame it?
It's
I
a
think-
dangerous game we play.
Yeah.
Can I see the little rabbit?
Unless it scores a nat 20, I don't think it can save.
Come here, little buddy. I look at the rabbit and I put it up to. I take off my helmet. Because I don't know if it works with the helmet on. Because I don't remember. It's been a long weekend.
Oh.
Mm.
You can still tell it to run away.
Oh.
Minus
-20.
-4, it's still a natural 20.
If only it had a lesser con.
Rex. Only a natural 20 will get hit to save. Natural 20!
What can I say? I'm the bearer of good luck.
Yeah, that's true.
The
You are
rabbit's a good guy.
true unluck.
Caitlin, it goes up to your face and begins to rub its cheek against your cheek. Everyone else thinks, oh, it's friendly. Rota, you go and hear this. It puts its cheek upon its cheek, on her cheek, and simply states, I have marked you with my scent. Now I can find you anywhere and kill you at my leisure.
Alright.
I give it
Rialto
chin
goes over
twitches.
there. You can't even hear it, can you?
Nope, that's why I'm giving it chin twitches.
Alright, Rialto goes, alright. She grabs the rabbit by the scruff of its neck. And she tells Caitlin what it just said about it rubbing its scent on her and that she can kill her now wherever she goes. So you better wash yourself thoroughly and make sure you get that scent off of you. I think
Mhm.
that might be alright.
Yeah.
And then
Boy,
you-
wouldn't it be crazy if I drop concentration? I have the power of a god in my
Gavin then
Just-
states, yes, and that is why I cover myself with magical dirt aura.
I got your excuse.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so you know,
Alright, Gavin.
the dirt is magical.
Oh, that's gross.
It is gross.
And Rialto looks at the rabbit though, and rabbit dragon. She's like, the only way you're gonna get out of this is if you promise not to harm anybody here, including Caitlin.
Roll persuasion. No negative or plus though. Just standard persuasion.
Okay. Standard persuasion.
I have the odd inkling and desire to make this rabbit be able to speak common.
Pretty good. -2. So 6. Fine. Yes.
I mean, it's just the only way you're gonna get out alive. So
So
Why
long
don't
as
you
not
agree
one
to
of
it?
you tries to entrap me and throw me, chase me or acquire my monetary value.
I'm not going to tell them about the last thing you just said, but I will tell them about everything else.
I
'Cause I
catch
don't-
tongues on
Then
it.
everyone hears, "Very well. You have my praise, young not human." Everyone else can hear his voice now.
Is that what
Uh,
he's been sounding like? That does not fit his stature.
He's a dragon. What did you expect?
Sorry, tongues works the other way around.
Morgan just wants to say something.
Byroth, I get it. This is just funnier.
Alright, fine.
Are you
It's
saying the
better
tongue
this
looks?
way.
What do you mean?
Tongues works the other way around, meaning that it would make him understand us, but not
That's
him
comprehend
us.
language. Tongues works the exact way that you think it does.
Tongues works how they're saying it, Dropkick. It doesn't allow us to understand it, it allows it to understand us.
Is that what I said?
That's what Rialto said.
However, when the
I
target-
was like, did I say it wrong? Sorry.
Either way, this is funny, so I'm allowing it to work. Everyone can understand it. It can understand you.
I like it. I'll agree.
Isn't that what the last sentence means? That moreover, when the target speaks, any creature that at least knows one language understands what.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Moving on.
That's-
Moving on. It says that, and then goes, "Now release me, and I will spare his and your lives."
Okay, I
Right.
suggest we all get going. Especially you, tired guy. Can't guarantee anything.
Still
Now
heavily
the
breathing.
dragon gave its word.
It does swear not to hurt you. If you believe it or not, it's up to you.
Fucking take out my bag of holding. I just open the pouch. Look at whoever's holding the fucking rabbit.
Rauta currently.
No, I mean, after it said that, I released it. I hope it hopped away. I mean, I gave my word and it gave its, and we knew each other's little secrets, so.
It hops to the ground and goes east.
Is this masked person has it taking any damage?
He looks hurt. At least his clothing looks worn and torn, but you can't tell underneath.
I'll put 10 lay of hands hit points into him.
You touch him and heal him. Thanks. Oh. Whew. Glad I forgot about this thing. He then pulls out a red gem. Might come in handy later. Puts it back in his pocket. So, thanks for helping me out, taking care of that mess. I'm pretty sure he completely forgot me.
Yeah, I don't think you did.
No, maybe. At least it's not attacking me today. Anyways, there is a village 3 days out from here, currently buried in sand, apparently. But it's actually snow. I don't know if anyone else picked up on what the rabbit was saying. I got like every other word.
Okay, just for future reference, where did you get this dragon from and what possessed you to anger?
To the east, there's a mountain range known as Hell's Mountains Pass. There's a volcano currently dormant there, and I coerced it from its resting place.
Where you
Oh,
also
yeah.
got that big fancy gem.
No,
Yeah.
that came from somewhere else. The gem was able to wake it up from its slumber, and then slightly, I would say, manipulate its brain pattern to follow my orders for a while. It
Yeah,
managed.
you're not clear of what you've done.
No, absolutely not. I would say it's pretty gray action. I got it to get into the area to perhaps uncover the snow and the village. Then it passed one of its saves and immediately attacked me.
Why did you want to get to what's under the snow in the village?
I would say I am a bit of an explorer, adventurer. You then hear Gavin state, grave robber? Oh, more or less, but I don't like to use that word.
What were you looking
Archaeologist is
for?
the actual term, technically.
What were you looking for?
The old village that used to be there. I wasn't really looking for anything specific, just uncovering it. I had heard legend that there was an ancient creature that used to call it home until the village completely disappeared. Maybe I could find one of their artifacts, maybe I could find them. But honestly, it was just a gamble.
Okay.
And what is your name?
I don't think I want to tell you.
Why not? We helped you with a dragon, didn't we?
Technically she
Release
did.
that
The rest of
crap on
you,
that
not
dragon
so
if you want.
much. Points to Halu, and then Halu threatens. Okay then. I go by a few names, but I bet,
I just sat on the broom, just like holding Cosmo.
yeah. I go by a few names, but the main one I go by, looks at his hand. You can't tell what he is. The hand that he's looking at is wrapped in bandages, with a few actual names written on there. This one. Magic? I think that's how they pronounced it.
Ding, ringing a
Oh
bell.
god damn it, a dog fuck.
Ringing a bell.
Wait, did he say he was magic or he was looking for someone called magic?
His name is Magic.
He's, by the
Claims.
way it sounds, his name is Magic, or at least that's what people have called him.
Does he look like the guy I saw through the fort?
No,
guy?
that was elusive.
This guy is the contact in Lynn.
Hillary goes from smug to immediately kind of pissed.
Cat probably jumps off of him. Then he states, yes, I think that's what they called me. Yes, Magic.
Tell me, Magic, in all your travels, have you ever been to a place called Lynn?
To, yes?
Interesting.
I mean, you can roll insight if you want.
Whereabouts did you go in then?
You know, around the city, exploring, looking at
Which
things.
city?
Byros, you can tell that he's clearly just trying to make something up. He might have heard of Lynn, but he doesn't know if it's a continent or a city. By the way he's describing it, he's clearly talking about a city, which is not the case. It is a continent. He then continues on with the fabrication-like story. You know, the big one with tall buildings, the Kenku bands. You know the one, I'm sure.
Of course. And, how's the guy's name?
He said Magic.
No, I was thinking of Barovian
Oh, Percival.
guy. Percival. And, then you must know Percival.
Yes, Percival, the tiefling. Right. Such a great and honest man. I'll let him know you said hi.
Won't be necessary. We've just seen him.
Oh, All right then. Good.
You said magic. He's run away already.
Well, he's walking slowly. He's not like running away.
Percival. Well, magic, unfortunately, that's not good for you.
Okay.
You see, because Percival Borovian of the House of Borovia is currently in our holding cells back in Haven. And he's
Oh,
named
that's a
you as one of his
shame.
associates.
I mean, I only met him like that one time at the bar. He talked about his son, his 3 wives, his 3-year-old daughter. I mean, if you want actual information, you should speak with them.
So is this guy just like actually just making up shit because he doesn't know anything, or is he lying?
He's actually
Can I do an
making up
insight
junk.
check on him?
You can go ahead and roll insight.
So roll again.
Mainly Halloween.
Okay.
However, you can tell he's making up stuff. He clearly described Lynn as a city. It is a continent. He described the Kenku bands, which are a thing, but not the way he described them. I mean, they weren't before, but I like the idea, so now it's a thing. He talked about Percival, the tiefling. He was clearly human-like, but not human, so he clearly got his species wrong. Or race, whatever. He talked about his 3 wives, his children, and 3-year-old daughter. He had no such thing. He had kids, but they were like 8 and 16 and 18 and 21, but you never met that one.
I was just wondering if he was trying to pull like the double bluff.
If you guys had to guess, he's just agreeing and nodding, just trying to get out of this conversation as quickly as possible. Maybe not for the reasons you think. If you had to guess, he often than not, archaeologists, or specifically grave robbers, air quotes, archaeologists, get a bad rap. So once he admitted that, he's kind of trying to get out of this. He's just making up stuff. The thing about magic, though, him being called that, is true. Maybe it's a case of mistaken identity, but he has been referred to as magic before.
He's probably not the person we're looking for.
You've got yourself into something dangerous again, friend. Tell the truth.
I found this mask at a harbor city.
Is the mask why people call you magic?
Probably. Once I found the mask, they kept calling me, "Oh, look, it's magic. Run away. He's going to kill us." I used it to my benefit and was able to get a few things here and there. Acquired some locations of places I could dig up.
Tell us where you found it.
Harbor City, you can't miss it.
This big city, I assume. Where?
On the continent of Thea.
Where in the city?
Can
You said, can I?
I check on the mask?
Okay, you check the mask how?
I just simply want to look over the mask and see if there's any significant immediate signs of magical properties that would be influenced into it or something like that.
Immediately you do sense some magical-like properties. Not as if it is influencing him, you, anyone around you, but there is some distinctive residue left over of magical properties that once stood.
If you get any closer to Haven than you are now, that mask is going to be a serious liability. It would be best if you just gave it to us.
This has helped me. Oh, the city I found it was Roanoke. By the way,
Roanoke.
it's about a month's travel to the west from here, outside of the Forbidden Zone. So it might kill you if you go there. The land itself, not me or anyone else. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe bandits.
That's funny.
Fire comes from outside the forbidden, but anyway.
You didn't know that.
I know. Okay, yeah, thanks for giving us survival tips, Mr. Antagonized Dragon.
Antagonizer of dragon. I am not a dragon myself.
You should hand that mask over to us, though.
Kayla extends her hand.
Roll intimidation by Roth with help from Ralta and Caitlin.
Intimidation. With help, so I get advantage.
You do.
Probably won't be better than that.
There's a 5% chance it is.
I mean, it was damn close. But a 21 is where we're at.
Currently looking for something.
I've been staring at this cat. I mean, this rabbit eat this carrot.
He
Yeah, in
hands
like 5 minutes.
over the mask, I guess. What was that, Byron?
This is in 5 minutes. That rabbit's gonna like just figure out it can run into a rock or something and deal itself 1 HP of damage.
Shh.
Eventually, I started identifying the mask.
Okay. Hands you the mask. Oh, he doesn't know. He doesn't have the status effect anymore, so that's taken care of.
Is he not crazy anymore?
He just
Oh.
doesn't have the mask anymore.
I'll figure what this mask does.
Are you casting Identify or just touching it?
Identify.
Casting Identify, you do see and feel some residue of magical like properties, as Halibu had mentioned before, or didn't mention. After you. But there have been some trace line magic wrapped around it. Nothing that stands anymore, so if you had to guess, he quite literally found this after someone got rid of it. It no longer was functional. Hard to say. But this was high-grade magic of class 7 or above. It's been a while, so you can't figure out what exactly was placed on it. The best guess, if you had to guess by type of spell, illusionary.
Okay, team. Gavin, give Magic some of your magical stank so the dragon can't follow him, and then let's get running, because let's go.
Grabs some weird pouch from his bag and just hits him with it. Immediately he is coated in dirt. Now then, that will not wear off for about a month. And then just walks away.
I mean, it'll
Magic.
probably do the same effect as the mask did, just on the
Yeah.
safer level.
Yeah, but who did he throw it at? Who's stinky
Magic.
now?
Magic. The guy without a mask. on.
Magic.
Oh, damn it. Okay. So
Uh,
now we have to take magic
thanks.
with us.
I mean, if you guys want to drag him with you, but he does have information, maybe not, or maybe information pertaining to your mission and or exploration. Hard to say. He is a air quotes. Man, what did I say again? Archaeologist.
Grave Robert.
Grave robber.
Yes.
Same thing. Literally the same thing.
Hmm.
We should probably go. That spell's not going to be lasting long.
Alright.
Okay, you now have one magic mask.
Quotation marks or
Magic
And-
residue mask.
Also, I just realized that the fact that we need winter clothes again, mostly because I remember Byron saying something about winter clothes.
That's right, I switched mine out. I made a point.
Mm-hmm. As you switch out your clothing, you come to a strange sight. Buried in snow and ash. It's weird, but some of the site has been burnt down. It's hard to say from where. Oh, wait, dragon, clearly, duh. The site only has a giant monument in the epicenter of the area now. In a frozen
So-
overlake.
Realta, this is where you were born. Or grew up?
Yeah. This is what's left of it.
Now a little philosophical question for the DM. Would control water work on snow?
In theory.
Realta, would you mind if I tried to clear some of this?
Go for it.
Then I'm going to cast control water and use the part water function.
As you begin to move ash and snow side to side, you get about 6 feet in, where you see a long since dead and buried. Hard to say what it is at this point. You imagine a tiefling or something else, but its skin has been currently been breaking apart.
Should I perhaps stop, or should we bury them? How do you treat your dead?
Gavin then states, I mean, they were buried before, my friend. But,
We normally do sky burials here.
We will exhume the bodies then.
Okay. One by one, a body after a body after a body is exhumed. After a while, you have a good village full, which is depressing.
We bring them to the top of the mountains and let the. Yeah.
I'm assuming you're only digging up as far as you find bodies?
I get 100 feet, I think, for usage of the spell.
No, I mean as deep. You can continuously do this until you find no more bodies, but from what you can tell, they're buried 6 feet deep. Do you dig any deeper is what I'm asking.
Oh, well, we go down to like door level, like around the houses, like it was. We're not digging, we're going down to the level of the village.
Okay. I'm just gonna say these 6 people represent the village.
Right on.
The village itself seems to be highly species-like. You see tieflings, you see drow, you see elven folk, you see celestial-like beings. Whatever this village was an oasis for various people that wanted peace, wanted tranquility amongst themselves and each other. This wasn't so segregated as Haven or monstrous as Noche. This was a village of peace and tranquility. That all changed one day as the entire village was smoldered and buried underneath snow. Wherever this place was a place of true beauty. Now it's just history lost.
Can I make like a survival or wilderness check or something to see if it looks like a natural avalanche?
Sure.
Well, they were smoldered first, right?
Smothered. I'll see if I'm beyond.
That's pretty good, but this was some time ago. Okay. As you look around, see and examine, you see that, hard to say, it has been some time, so people have trudged over this area as if it was nothing, as if it wasn't a village that just lost itself one day. Hard to say. It could have been, it could have not have been. You can tell that the snow has been moved here and there. So maybe other people have tried to dig into this site, or maybe this was not natural. It's in a lot of places, so it's possible it wasn't natural, but you don't have an exact number on this. Maybe an archaeologist could have helped. Who's to say?
Fucker. Saved his life.
What were you saying, Rata?
Do I find anything?
Are you digging around? Are you helping him move bodies?
Well, I would help him move all the bodies, but while I'm doing that, I would be looking around for like any hints or clues as to actually what happened, because I don't think that my village would actually be destroyed by just an avalanche.
Go ahead and roll
Survival,
insight
perception.
or survival.
Insight.
However, Halloween has stated, would you like me to play some music for their funerals?
Yes, I would really love that.
Better at survival, so 50.
Well, I don't have that, Halloween, so you're getting whatever this is.
Yeah, I know. I was just posting it in the chat so everyone else could hear.
I know. I just felt like playing something else. So good too.
Not 20 when I needed it.
Huh. Examining the area, how do you begin to play, Oh, wow, this actually would come to pass then. Okay. Playing your song, the vibrant sounds, peeing off the snow, peeing off the crystals. Hello, you're digging around the areas, looking at the sites, just, I don't know, making yourself busy, seeing all the people that you've lost in the past. As if they died just days ago, if not a day ago. How well preserved they are. Halloween, you begin to dance, maybe not dance, play around the pool of water in the area. As the sound waves hit the site, Relta, you see that the statuary object begins to glow, not itself, but Halloween, you can tell that it's glowing within the waterway itself. Relta, you can see this as well because Halloween rolled a nat 20. Beyond that, 15, you didn't get anything else.
Who has the look on their face of usually my music doesn't do this sort of thing, but
Mm-hmm.
can I do an Arcana check?
Sure. Do you stop playing?
I'll play the full song out.
Okay. You play the full song out, stop, and then the slow growing light fades away. You do an Arcana check, go ahead.
We do an Arcana check. Oof.
You can tell that there's something about the statuary that is unique to vibrating sounds. If you weren't next to a crystal clear, like frozen, although, lake, you would not have been able to see this. Not without some type of special sight. Take, for example, a dragon's true sight or something like that.
I'm gonna keep trying to play it to see if, like, if at a certain point it does something with enough vibrations.
Okay, you do so and it begins to glow once more. Do you go over and touch the thing? Kick it? Throw something at it?
I would go for and try and investigate, sort of like visually first.
Okay. You can tell that there's a slight humming to the statue.
Can Rialto help with an investigation check?
You can tell that there's a slight humming to the statue. Go ahead and roll an investigation.
Probably.
Nice. With advantage since Relta's helping you, though. You begin to analyze the area. Eventually you do touch the thing. It just waves through your hand as if it's not there. Washes over it as if it is simple mist.
Can I hide?
Can you what?
Try and go inside. Is it like a tower or something?
It's like a 10-foot tall, 15-foot tall statue of a sundial.
Does the sundial match the way the sun should be?
No. Which is weird.
Where's the shadow point?
Due west.
You think perhaps we should follow the sundial?
Due southwest, to be precise.
Rialto, you know this area. Is there anything to the southwest?
Is there anything to the southwest?
We also have a map.
Examining the map, you do see that southwest would be, some of the trail you've been through before. Haven, another strange site that has been closed off due to renovations. You don't know what it is. It literally just has renovation site in Gavin's handwriting. And a forest.
So not much.
No, at least not something specific.
What time would that denote?
That would denote around 7? Okay. How would you step into it? I didn't hear anything. So I'm assuming no?
No, I said yeah, sure.
Okay. You step through it, and inside you see a pitch black nothingness. You do see something in the distance, though. It's hard to tell what it is. Do you continue forwards or turn back?
I'll continue forwards.
Go ahead and roll me some intelligence saving throw. As you are going through pitch black shadow, unaware of your surroundings.
Ruh-roh.
How many?
You turn around. You don't remember where you
Oh,
came
wait.
from. Go on.
This is why I was asking how many I need to roll.
Okay. Just one for now.
So, I think that just lets me re-roll.
Yeah.
Roll a d12.
Okay, that's fine for now. The first save. You walk through, still aware of where you came from, still aware of where you're going. Entering now, you do see what appears to be a sliver of light. Not of some actual light, but something magical within the realm. You do see what appears to be a strange curved bow. Not like a weapon, but an instrument's bow, similar to the way a violin would be shaped. A violin's I forgot the name of it.
It's called a bow.
Yeah, duh.
It's a bow.
Yeah, that's what I thought. A violin's bow would be shaped. Do you continue forwards or press back?
I'll continue forward.
Go ahead and roll me another intelligence saving throw.
Oof, I'm going to choose lucky again.
Okay. Okay, that's enough to pass the second save. You make it there without an issue, without restraint. You look at this pure made bow, maybe out of light or maybe out of something celestial, you're not too sure, but it is heavenly to see. You do not know the sound of it, but you swear you hear it playing its tune before you even hit the notes. Do you grab for it?
Yeah, I grab for it.
You easy hand over hand easily grasp onto it. But as soon as you do, the light fades away into it, not disappearing. It just no longer has a trace. Not a trace. It just no longer has a reason to be doing that. That being said, roll me one final intelligence saving throw. Without any light, without any guidance, not knowing where the shadows go, you go one direction, then another, then another. It is hard to tell where you currently are now. Roll me one wisdom saving throw. You're confused, wondering where you are, where you should go, and in your mind you hear a whispering sound. Go to the left. Do you follow, or do you continue to walk your own path?
I'll follow.
You go to the left and immediately almost bump into Rauta.
Ow. I mean, I guess it was right.
No, it was left.
Gavin
So is
then looks at you.
Oh, sorry.
Welcome back. That'll do as you say. Go ahead.
Is it just a violin bow then?
From what you can tell, from what anyone else can tell at this point in time, it just looks like a very nice but a violin bow.
So, you disappeared for a minute.
Yeah, this sundial had, when I was playing my music, it had arcane energy around it, or it seemed to. But it seemed like I could walk into it, and I found this inside, and I hold up the violin bow.
It's pretty.
It seems to take on the appearance of a violin bow.
That's cool.
I can identify this with
Hmm.
magic if you would like.
I think that might be best.
I cast Identify.
You cast Identify and go ahead and roll me a Wisdom saving throw.
Ruh-roh. 16.
Okay. You cast and Identify and you're like, huh. This does something magical. That's all you get.
Yeah. This is does something magical, and typically when I can't just say what it does, it means it's tricky at least, and usually quite powerful.
Would you freak out if I say it might have talked to me?
No, I did feel some sort of something. I don't know. I felt like I had to defend myself when I touched it.
Yeah, I felt like it was pushing back. In the meantime, Cerberus is currently just painting, looking confused, taking out a piece of paper, looking confused.
That's a good question. Would I know about sentient magic items?
You've heard of like warning blades, blades that sometimes talk to people, but you often find out that
How
they're
much
just
have you-
crazy.
How much have you talked to Caitlin over the past 2 months?
Not at all.
Right then.
You know that there's some type of blades that give you a warning whenever there's danger. Communicate through their a voice as if they're casting Identify through the blade. This was different, but not so different that you'd be scared of it.
I'm just gonna say out loud, hello, to the fucking violin bow.
Okay, that is a first. Go ahead and roll me some intelligence. Just intelligence. No save, no... Just intelligence. Okay. Well, first of all, you sound dumb talking to a bow. Second, though, it wasn't bad, and it wasn't good, so you just hear in your head, no one else. Hello.
Okay, so you can talk, or I'm going crazy.
As you say that, Gavin then states, "Yes, I can speak. I can speak a few variety of languages. Mountain, Dwarven, Goblin, Tieflingen."
I meant the bow. The bow can speak, I think. Something speaking.
There's some
You say you
artifacts do
spoke
that.
Mountain?
Yes. Inside your mind, how will you then hear? Yes, I can speak.
Oh, I'm sorry, this is new for me. Do you mind telling us who you are?
I'm Gavin. You then hear Gavin state, "I am a cartographer, heading towards."
Gavin a glare. You should
He-
know
he
by
stops.
now what I'm.
You
She's
were reminded of how sometimes Caitlin talks to herself?
I haven't done that in a while.
You haven't done that
I've
in a while.
become the crazy of the party. Oh no!
You then hear, "I am a being of..." And then you hear it stop as if trying to remember. "Of a virtue of..." You hear it stop, trying to remember. "Trying to help." I'm sorry, I can't remember.
Oh, it's fine. Would you mind if? Do you mind coming along with us? We have some people back at our city that could possibly help.
Okay.
like the first sentient weapon I've ever seen that's actually been like passive.
If you had to guess, it can't really remember what exactly it is. Maybe it's been there for a while. Maybe it was stored in that specific type of. I'm going to say trap because that's what it felt like for
I
a
know
reason.
what this is.
Yeah, you probably do. Either way, Gavin then states, all right then. Do we press on?
Once we prepared the bodies for sky burial.
Yeah, I turn to Rialtra and I ask her like if she has any idea what this is.
Yeah.
Like if this is an artifact from her village.
Rauta, you've heard rumor that. Well, honestly, you've heard it like 3 days ago. You've heard rumor that your old master used to hold and take care of ancient artifacts. One specifically housed within the village itself, in a place that no one could reach, if not able to truly grasp that thought and theory. Which apparently also qualifies as music.
Fucking clown got it.
Good for you. Anyway, you do not know exactly what this is, but you do know it is a powerful artifact that your master once held.
Still with us, Rialto? Yeah. Well, it's a magic artifact that your master used to have. Ooh.
Dang it. Shit.
Your master
So I
didn't
have.
use it, they just held on to it.
And I can take this.
I don't know, ask Halloween.
It's the violin bow that Halliwoo has.
Oh. No, if my master played violin and I know Hollywood picked it up, that's awesome. I would
did
relay
not.
that though. Huh?
He did not play violin. He kept it inside of a astral sundial, hidden away.
Oh.
I mean, yes, your master did play violin, but first of all, Byroth, don't be sexist now,
Sorry.
didn't use this bow. I'm just messing with you.
Oh jeez. Yeah, Hollywood. My master had that for a long time, but I've never seen him play it, so I'm not sure if there's something off about it. So just be a little cautious, okay?
Oh, if your master had it.
I by all means
Do you want to
don't
hold-
need it or anything. I just don't know if there's something weird about it. That's what I'm trying to. We should probably see if there's. Can I Arcana check it?
Sure. Go ahead and roll wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. Bam.
Byroth, bam.
Phone fell down when I said that.
Wisdom save
Sorry.
25.
You pass it, but the only thing you glean is it is known as a item of virtue.
Oh, Hollywood, that might be a very important item. I remember hearing about.
I'm just waiting to get the word.
I remember hearing.
You just say it's a very important item. I just imagine how do we go from like holding it casually to like very preciously holding it.
Oh yeah. Do I know which virtue it is?
No, if you had to guess, you want the right species, maybe, to truly identify this thing, which is why Byroth was having a hard time. You also believe that Byroth is now cursed with something.
God damn it.
You're
When
not,
did
you're
he
fine.
not curse?
It's happened before.
Oh no.
Halloween might
Yeah.
be something that could bypass this if she was able to cast Identify herself, or something similar to an extraplanar being might be able to.
Haha, saying I have the fucking any spells that can help me with that.
Mm.
If Riata says like item of virtue out loud, I'll be like, oh, you know, oh, maybe opposite of those evil shards like Caitlyn has.
I draw my
Yeah,
lust blade.
I didn't say it out loud. I just said that might be a very important item.
Then I don't draw my lust blade.
Okay.
Because yeah, I don't think I said anything about that yet. Because I'm still like trying to remember everything. So Rialto would just be like, they think that's very important, and just be careful with it because items can be dangerous, and yeah.
I mean, to be fair, it helped me out of that situation. I didn't know where to go.
It did, and we should talk about it later.
As you begin to perform the rites of the sky ritual, burial ritual, I was trying to think of a clever name, but I couldn't think of one. You easily manage to do so without an issue. You recover the area to make sure that you're I wouldn't say trail, but you aren't discovered. Without too much issue, you try to touch the sundial again, you can't go through it. You play music again, you can't go through it. If you had to assume once the object was taken away, it could no longer be cast within. So if you want to trap it again, you're going to have to do something else. Do you press forwards, or do you stay here for the day? It's about 3
I would
p.m.
like to stay
in the middle
for
of the day, by the way. Okay.
She
No one
wants to
else
stay
said
here.
anything, so you're staying here for the night.
Peace.
So making a campfire, making sure everything's set, ready, and prepared. You're just cozy next to the statue. Make sure that all flanked sites make sure they're cleared. Everyone has a restful day, afternoon, until you wake up tomorrow to who knows what, as we end the session for today.